Now let us try to understand methods. First let me explain the purpose of methods. Usually in the real-time applications or in the programming, you must create methods for performing actions or for performing some tasks or for doing a work. So this is what is the purpose of a method in the programming languages. Okay, it can be C# language or any other language, it doesn't matter. You have to create methods for performing some actions or for performing tasks or for doing a work. Okay, now so before talking more about methods, first I would like to explain one important point, that is some developers will be calling methods as actions. Different names will be given for methods in the programmers community. So some people will be calling methods as actions, some people will be calling the methods as functions, some people will be calling the same thing as subroutines, some people will be calling the same thing as operations, some people will be calling the same thing with the name behaviors. Okay, all what I mean to say here is different names are given for the methods. Okay, now let us try to understand syntax for declaring a method. Let me show you the syntax. Usually you have to specify access specifier or access modifier for declaring a method. First you have to specify access specifier and next return type, next method name. You are allowed to give any method name. Next you have to specify data type, variable name, again data type, variable name 2, so on so forth. You can create or you can include any number of data types as well as variables inside the method parenthesis, and next every method must start with curly bracket and every method must end with curly bracket. So this is the usual syntax for declaring a method, and inside this method you can able to write something. Okay, you can able to write any code. So in general this portion is called as method header, and the code which is included inside the curly brackets is called as method body. I believe you understood. Now first let us talk about the return type. So in fact in C# language return type is basically a data type. You are allowed to declare or you are allowed to specify any data type in place of return type. Along with the data types you are also allowed to write void also. Either it can be data type, any kind of C# language supported data type, or it can be void also. When to specify void in the return type? When the method is not returning anything. So only in such kind of cases you have to write void. So when your method's return type is void, then you are not allowed to write return statement inside the methods. Okay, I believe you understood. Or in simple words, return type is a data type, and also in place of return type you can able to specify void. Okay, so what is this data type means? Data type means any kind of C# supported data type. It can be fixed size data type or it can be a varying size data type. Okay, so it can be any kind of data type, it doesn't matter. Now apart from this, going forward when I am declaring the methods, I will be using public in place of access specifier. Okay, so I will be using only public as of now. Okay, so anyhow I will be explaining about the different types of access specifiers or access modifiers when we come into access specifiers or access modifiers topic. Okay, till that time I will be using only public. Right, now let us try to understand one more important point related to methods. So that point is different types of methods allowed in C#. Types of methods. In C# language you can able to declare a method which can able to take multiple inputs and can able to give only one output. Such kind of methods are possible. Next, you can able to create a method which will take only multiple inputs but no output. Even such kind of methods are also possible. Multiple inputs, no output. Next, few methods in C# may not be taking any input but can be giving one output. Even such kind of methods are possible. No input, one output possible. Let me write no input, one output possible. Similar way, few methods in C# language may not be taking any input and may not be giving any output. Or in simple words, no input, no output. Even such kind of methods are possible. Now, let us try to understand the impossible case. Let us say you are trying to create a method which is going to give or which is going to return multiple outputs. Multiple outputs. So such kind of methods are not possible in C# language. Okay. It doesn't matter whether the method is taking multiple inputs or no inputs, it doesn't matter, but method is not allowed to return multiple outputs. Okay. Or in simple words, in place of return type, you are not allowed to specify more than one data type. You are allowed to specify only one data type. If you don't want to return anything, you have to specify void in place of return type. And you remember, this void keyword is not allowed in place of data types while declaring or inside the parenthesis. Okay, here in place of DT or in place of data types, you are not allowed to specify void. You are not allowed to specify void in place of data type. Now, let us try to understand how to call the methods. First, I will declare few methods and I will show you how to call these methods. Let us say in my program, I got a requirement for creating calculator class. And you remember, in general, you have to declare the methods inside the classes. Now, let us say I got calculator class, public class calc. Now, you identify what are all the actions usually the calculator can able to perform or tasks. In general, every calculator can able to perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. If it is a regular calculator. If it is a scientific calculator, it may be having many other functionalities also. Okay. So, but as of now, let me take a simple calculator and assume say I got add method here, public int add parenthesis. Let me say it is taking int x comma int y. Now, let me declare int z is equals to x plus y return z. So I created one method with the name add whose return type is int and which is taking two integer inputs. Okay. And when someone calls this method is performing the addition action and it is returning the addition result of this x and y variables back to the callers. Similar way, I am writing one more method, public int sub, performing subtraction action and returning r back to the callers. Int r is equals to x minus y, return r. Okay. Now my requirement is I would like to call these two methods from main method present in the C# program. So if you open Visual Studio, by default you will get a class called as program class. Okay. So, but anyhow, currently I am writing this code on the board, so I have to write class program, and definitely inside the program class you will see static void main string args, open curly bracket, end curly bracket, end curly bracket for the class, open curly bracket for method and end curly bracket for method. Okay. But anyhow, when you are practicing the same sample in your Visual Studio, do not try to write class program static void main again, because which is already present in your code or in your Visual Studio or in your program. Okay. Now my requirement is I would like to call this add method present in calculator class from the main method which is present in the program class, or from this main method, or inside this main method I would like to call this add method. How to call? Very simple. In order to call this add method, you have to create the object of the calculator class. Okay. So observe very carefully here. The calling method, main method is present in program class, and the called method or the caller and callee both are present in two different classes. Okay. So when the caller and callee both are present in two different classes, then blindly create the object of the class in which the method which you are going to call is present. So now add method is present in calculator. Let me create calculator object. Calc C is equals to new calc. After this, I would like to call the add method. How to call the method? C dot add of, pass some data 10, 20. Now why I am passing 10, 20 here? Because in order to call that method, you have to definitely pass 10, 20 or some numbers, two numbers. Okay. So now after calling the method, this method is add method is returning an integer output. So this is the return type. You observe carefully, this add method's return type is int, and you observe carefully by using return statement we are returning data present in Z. You observe carefully Z declaration, Z variable declaration, Z variable is of type int. So it means that this Z variable's data type and this return type both are matching. It must match. Okay. Now when you call this method, it is giving some integer output. So where to store that output? In your main method, you need to declare an integer variable. You call this variable name as int res1. You can give any variable name. Similar way, how will you print the data present in this res1 after calling the add method? As usual, console.writeLine of res1. Similar way, how to call this subtract method or sub method? Again, you have to use this C, that is object variable, C dot sub. You pass some data, can be any data. Let me pass 1, 30. So once you call sub method, this 1 and 30 will go into x variable and y variable will get 30. Now internally subtraction operation will be performed and that result will be stored in R, and data present in R will be returned back to the callers of the method. Now you have to store this data by writing int res2, okay, or any other variable name. So you must give space between int and then res2, okay, data type name and then variable name. So as usual, you try to print console.writeLine of res2, and similar way you write console.readLine also in order to retain the console. Okay. So this is how you will be calling the methods, and this is how you will be capturing the output of the methods. Okay. Now whatever I have explained here, the same thing I am going to show you in my Visual Studio. Okay. Now open Visual Studio, create a new project, give some appropriate name, give appropriate name to your application. In my case, I have given understanding methods. Click on OK. You will see the default generated program class and main method. Okay, you no need to write this code again. Next, you have to write calculator class, public class calc open curly bracket end curly bracket. Okay. Now most probably some of you, especially the beginners, may be getting a doubt here. What if I write this calculator class above this program class? Nothing will happen. You can write anywhere, but only thing is you try to write this calculator class outside of the program class. So this is the ending point of the program class. You observe it is highlighted. Now after this you try to write the class. Okay. So once you create the class structure, I recommend you to build the code first of all. So compiler is saying build succeeded. Now you write public int add open parenthesis, close parenthesis, write int x comma int y. Okay, and many people will be giving semicolon over here. Okay, so if you give semicolon immediately after the method, you will get lot of errors. Okay, so you start the curly bracket for the method and give the curly bracket. Now most probably you may be getting a doubt here, why this red color underline is coming. Red color means error. So why this red color is coming below this method name? The answer is simple, you have not yet completed the code for this method. Since this method is expecting some return integer type as return type, so but you are not writing, you have not yet written the return statement. That is the reason why it is giving error. So anyhow, once you complete the method code, you will not see this error message. Now let me write int z is equals to x plus y. Next, write return z. Now you observe carefully, no red color underline. So once you create the method, you treat this method as a unit. So first of all, you compile this program. So compiler is saying build succeeded. Okay, now similar way you create subtract method also. Public int sub int x comma int y. You can give any variable names, that doesn't matter. Now you write int r is equals to x minus y. So again some of you may be getting doubt here, why I am not giving z, whatever the variable I have declared over here, why I am not giving the same thing here. If you want, you can give same variable name, it doesn't matter. Return r. Now observe, so no red color underline after, say immediately below this sub. Again send the code to compiler, build succeeded. Okay, it means that your code is correct. Now what to do? We need to call this add and subtract methods from main method. What should I do? Very simple, right? Calc c is equals to new calc, create object of the calculator class. Now using the c variable, you can able to call any number of methods present in calc. Now let me call add method. You observe carefully, now this add method is expecting int x and int y. So many people I observed in my programming life, especially beginners, they will be writing int 10 over here. It is incorrect. You should not declare, you have to pass the values, that's all. 10 comma 20. Now do you think that this code will work? Obviously this code will work. Why? Because if the method is returning something, you no need to capture that output. That depends on your wish. Let me write int res1. Okay, next, why I am getting error? Because I have not given the data type properly. Next, similar way, let me write c dot. You observe, so do not try to blindly type the code. You observe carefully in the Visual Studio IntelliSense and then you pick up the method. Okay, write method sub, and again it is expecting int x comma int y, you pass any data. In my case I go for 1 comma 30. So this subtract method is returning something. Let me store that something, int res2. Blindly, if the method is returning int, you create integer variable for storing that output. Okay, so if the method is returning string, you create string variable, so on and so forth. Okay, next, how to print the data? Console dot write line of res1. Similar way, console dot write line of res2. Similar way, console dot read line. Now execute the program. Before executing the program, it is strongly recommended to build your code. So build succeeded. Now let me go and execute this program. You observe we are getting 30 comma minus 29. Is it correct? Obviously the output is correct. When I pass 10 comma 20, it must give me 30 here. into res1. Similarly, when I pass 1 comma 30, I should get minus 29 here. Anyhow, everything is working fine. Okay, so this is how you will be calling the methods. Similar way, I will show you few more samples. Let me create a dummy class this time, public class with some name A. Let me write public string m1 taking integer x, comma integer y, open curly bracket, end curly bracket. So most probably you may be getting a doubt here. Is it possible to take integer types as input, and is it possible to return string type, altogether different type? Answer is possible. You can take any kind of input and you can return any kind of output. It doesn't matter. Okay. Now let me declare string z is equals to skill gun. Now I would like to return the data present in z. So if you observe carefully, now again you may be getting a doubt here. So I declared int x variable and int y variable inside this method declaration, inside method parenthesis, but I am not using this x and y variables anywhere in this method. So do you think that we will get error? Obviously no. So when you are declaring any variables inside the method, if you want, you can use those variables inside the method, or otherwise you can ignore. But in general, you should not declare the variables without using those variables inside the method. That is incorrect practice. But anyhow, just for showing the example, I have declared few variables and I am returning something over here. Okay. Now the question here is how to call this method m1 present in class A from main method. As usual, you write a is equals to new a parenthesis, you write a dot. Now you can able to see method m1, you pass some data 10 comma 20. Next, what is the return type of this method? This method is returning string type. m1 method is returning string type. Okay, so we have to definitely declare string variable for storing the result, string res1. You no need to give the variable name as res1 only, you can give any name, it doesn't matter. Okay, next let me include one more method here, public bool method m2 taking boolean b1 string s1, again dummy variables. Now in this case I would like to return true or false. Let me write return true. Okay, so now this method m2 is expecting boolean and string and it is returning true. Okay, so you no need to use this b1 and s1 variables inside this method, but in fact it is incorrect programming practice. Okay, so now my point here is I would like to show you how to create different methods which are taking different inputs and which is returning some output. Okay, now I would like to call this method m2. How to call? Again a dot m2. So now it is expecting boolean parameter first. You pass any parameter, let me say false, and something over here, hi, in double quotations. So why I am not including false in double quotations? Because it is boolean type. So you must pass only false or true. Similar way I am passing this hi in double quotations. Why? Because this is string data type. Second parameter is string type, so definitely you have to use double quotations. Now what is the return type of this method m2? Method m2 is returning boolean. So you have to declare boolean variable. Let me write result 2. Okay, so on and so forth, you can able to call any kind of methods, and if you want you can display the output by using console.writeLine res1, and similar way you write console.writeLine res2. As usual, in order to retain the console, you write console.readline. Okay, so execute the program, you must get the appropriate output. In this case we are getting skill gun as well as true.